In this video, I'm going to revisit a stacked stone border I built back in April of 2020. It was during the craziness of COVID, when many aspects of our day-to-day lives were shut down. Stay at home, they said. Minimize contact with your fellow human beings, they said. I suddenly found myself with an abundance of free time on my hands. Time which allowed me to tackle a few home projects. One such project was to install a stone wall around the natural areas of my front yard. Well, perhaps a stone border better describes what I was looking to build. I posted a video showing the project. That video has been, and continues to be, one of the most popular videos on my channel. And while I get lots of positive comments, I've also gotten comments like, "Nice effort, but nope, that's not even close to what it should look like," or "not stable and not matched properly when stacked out," or simply "awful," or "sucks," and "ouch, that's bad." I could go on, but I think you get the idea. So this video is in response to all the naysayers, detractors, and haters. It's been 5 years. Enough time to find out if this project was a boon or a bust. First, understand that my goal was to build a rustic-looking, stacked stone border to separate the lawn from the natural areas. Something around 6 to 10 inches high, and maybe 6 or 8 inches wide. A sort of throwback to the stacked stone walls of rural England and Scotland. You know, those loose stone walls, built hundreds of years ago to define pastures and paddocks, except mine was shorter and mainly decorative. I came up with a plan. It began with digging a shallow trench and laying down these concrete cap blocks to form a base. It turns out I really didn't need to do this, or at least here in North Carolina it wasn't necessary. I know this because my good friend and neighbor built a nearly identical wall without a base. He simply laid the stone on the grass. That too was 5 years ago, and it looks no different than mine. At least here in North Carolina it wasn't necessary. But our winters are typically mild and the ground seldom freezes. In areas where the winter is more severe, perhaps a good base may help prevent the stones from heaving and moving by a freezing ground. I purchased 3 pallets of stone from a local landscape supply yard. The stone was called Swiss Sparkle, which at the time cost $188 a pallet. The supply yard delivered the pallets to my house for a $50 delivery fee and placed them around the yard where I requested. I found the easiest way to handle the material was to fill a wagon with stone, roll it over right next to where I was working, and stack it on the wall. I spent very little time trying to fit stones based on their shape. It was much more along the lines of grab the next stone, find a place where it sort of fit, set it down, and move on. I did add a couple of extra layers of stone where the border faces the road. That was simply to raise the height a little bit and make it more visible street side. With my neighbor's help, we unloaded and stacked all 3 pallets before the day was out. But I decided I needed another pallet to properly finish the job. That was delivered the following week, and the job was done. In the end, I used 4 pallets of stone to cover 220 linear feet of border. The finished product looked like this. As an added flourish to the project, I also got 3 long stones. I installed them upright on their ends. This also was a sort of homage to the ancient standing stones and circles found throughout the British Isles. It's now been 5 years, and this is what it looks like today. Despite the predictions of the detractors and critics, the border seems to have withstood the test of time. Do stones sometimes get knocked around or fall off? Sure they do. Deer sometimes bump them. The mower occasionally knocks one askew. Sometimes pulling the hose over the stack will pull a stone off. Absolutely, this happens occasionally. How do I handle that? Well, I bend over, pick it up, and put it back on the stack. Some have asked how I keep weeds and grass from taking root in the stones. That simply has not been a problem. Maybe that's because they're loosely stacked and not mortared, leaving weeds no place to take hold. I do occasionally run my string trimmer along the bottom edge of the wall to clear away any grass or weeds that may take hold, but pretty much that's it. I still think it looks great and only adds to the aesthetics of the property. And it definitely provides that rustic, natural-looking separation between the natural areas and the lawn I was looking for. I hope that answers any questions that you might have about the project and its ability to stand the test of time. Goodness, it was just a decorative garden border, but some must have thought I was building a 10-story building. Remember, life is a journey. Enjoy the ride, and thanks for watching.